Well, hello there. Welcome back to another episode of Minecolonies. My name's Rev. Happy Monday morning to those who usually tune in at this time. It's been a minute, and we're back. Oh, it's been so long, but we're here, and we're gonna do something. We're gonna do some how you say, new builds here in this wonderful Savannah. Oh, can't wait to build with you guys today. Anyway, so let's go ahead and take a look at what we got. So I've only just started. Haven't done much. The exploration, very minimal. If we take a look here. I started all the way up here on the beach. Kind of just ran down, saw the scope at which this Savannah looked like, and was just like, I have to build here. And that's where we are. This is what we have. Not much. Got some wooden tools, got some meat, got a bed, some wool, all that kind of fun stuff. But more importantly, we have a supply camp. And also more importantly, a little bit of an area to build said supply camp. Now, for those who are new to Minecolonies, Minecolonies is a mod pack where the entire idea is to build a thriving, beneficial, whatever you want to say, a thriving colony. And they have a whole bunch of different style packs to go about doing that. And some of my previous videos that you might see on the channel, I've done Fairy Tale, I've done Caledonia, and things along the way. And what I wanted to do is do one here in the Savannah. I spawned a brand new world, got that urge by Minecraft again. And I just saw this and was like, this is perfect. You just ever like boot up Minecraft, brand new world seed, and you just kind of go, I don't know what to do. And you load in, walk a little bit, and then you see this, and you're just like, yeah, all right, we can make this work. So anyways, we're going to be building in this windswept Savannah. And conveniently enough, there is a perfect style to do that. Now, in Minecolonies, for those who are not familiar with it, one of the best ways to start, and probably the only way to start in Minecolonies, is building a supply camp. Now, a supply camp, come over here and I'll pull up the recipe so you guys can see it. Comes in two categories. You have a supply ship, which is boats with chests, makes a ship, or there's just the camp, which is what I have, which is 5 chests. Really easy to start, really easy to build. It's fantastic. Now, this is going to be kind of like a let's play tutorial, all that kind of fun stuff for Minecolonies, as it usually is, and we'll definitely be doing some custom builds along the way, which is always a fantastic time. Can't wait to get into that. In fact, that leads into one of the other things I wanted to do, but I just couldn't get working. But we'll talk about that a bit. So once you get everything kind of started, and you have your supply camp, you found the place you want to build your colony, you build it, and you go ahead and you just kind of go plop right on down. Now, this is the UI for Minecolonies. If you haven't seen it, hey, take some time, get used to it, play around with it, just avoid hitting this one right here. But you have settings over here, you can see the previews from others, render placeholders, all that kind of stuff. Nothing crazy. This will cancel things out, that'll place the building, and this will allow us to navigate it. And we'll see that here in a moment once I pull up a preview. Now, I had mentioned before, Minecolonies is all about building a thriving colony. And because of that, you want to make sure you pick the right colony. And so, the best way to do that is by taking a look at all the different styles that come along with the Minecolonies pack. Now, I'm playing on the Minecolonies Plus mod pack. A link to both the CurseForge and Modrent one down below in the description, as per usual. And the Minecolonies Plus will most likely have a few new styles that you might not find in other ones. Things like all the mods or some of the other packs might have more. You can make your own style. There's a whole thing. In fact, I thought about actually doing a whole series on just making our own style in the form of like Pokemon and whatnot. Like that could be, or not Pokemon, that's trademarked. Cobblemon, because that's the Minecraft version. And so, anyways, when you're looking at mine colonies and you're looking at what you want to do and how you want to start, you want to make sure that you pick a style that is going to be relevant to the biome that you're building in. So if we're sitting here and we're building and we're like, oh yeah, you know, we're here in the savannah, let's go ahead and do medieval birch. This style is going to require birch to do a majority of like the initial builds and all that kind of stuff like that. Later on, when you're doing a colony, you'll have tree farms, and usually mod packs have ways to go about like farming those resources and all that other kind of fun stuff to make building your colony easier. But if you're not in a biome to get some of those initial, you know, ingredients, some of these style packs will help you. I believe Pagoda is a style pack that'll give you like the cherry blossom tree sapperling to kind of kickstart the farms, but that kind of hinders you a little bit in the early stages of like actually building things. And nobody wants to go running around all over the place trying to, you know, find dark oak logs and all this other kind of stuff like that just to build a building. So usually find a biome that you like and then find the style that it is that you want to build with, or build a supply camp, take a look at the styles, and then go hunt down the biome. Now, in our case here today, and what we're going to be doing in this series is we're going to be using the urban savanna. Now, I'm choosing this because I found this really nice savanna, and I want to build in it, and this one makes the most sense. We have all the trees, the acacia trees, and everything like that. It's going to be great. Now, I actually need to go put a bed down before we get more into this, so I don't have to deal with any kind of creepy crawlies coming to cause some problems during the recording. But after you go ahead and select your style, you'll notice it's created this here preview. And we go ahead and bring our supply camp back out. This is the menu. Now, granted, I was a little bit further away as that was going on, but it kind of plops it down here. Now we can kind of start talking a little bit more about what we see here on the UI. Now, if I want to be able to move, I'm just going to hit the escape key, just so I can kind of get my camera back, free look, all that kind of fun stuff. I want to move back up to where we first started our episode to kind of show you a little bit more in detail what we're seeing here. So this is a supply camp. And what a supply camp does here in the mine colony world is it gets you everything that you need to start your colony and just kind of have a good start. Now, I know in other mod packs, like all the mods, or I mostly all the mods is what comes to mind, but in a lot of them that include mine colonies, yeah, you can use it, but it often has a huge server like load on like other multiplayer servers and everything like that. Like a lot of people playing it might not want people to fully invest into mine colonies because it takes a lot of like computer power. But a lot of people will use mine colonies to start off, and the reason for that is because if we look here, it gives you a lot of things. You get workbenches, you get stoves, you get tons of shelving back there that has a whole bunch of just early game resources. You get cakes, you get like everything that you need to jumpstart your early game in survival. And if we look at the UI here in mine colonies over here on this right hand side, I'm kind of just like flipping things around, looking at it. You know, you can mirror things, you can kind of see what it all looks like, rotate it, you can move it up and down, everything like that. Now, this is what the supply camp looks like for the savannah, the urban savanna. I'm hoping, I've never built with this one before, I'm hoping that it's going to give me a lot of the stuff that I need. Some of the older styles haven't been fully updated yet to kind of like make sure that you have like a healthy collection of saplings or anything like that to make sure your early stages of the game are a little bit smoother. Other ones that have been created by community members and stuff like that usually do. So if we're taking a look here, oh, that's, oh boy, oh geez, oh, I clicked the wrong button. I wanted to kind of talk about something else. Okay. Something to note about this here as it's down is, do this, raise this up a little bit. We see this right here. This block indicates that it needs to be on ground, like a flat ground. If I had the ship version of this, it would talk about having water down below it. These are things that we're going to be kind of obviously seeing as we're going through and building. I just kind of want to call that out. So if I wanted to build this right here, right now, right where it was, I couldn't unless it was on some form of ground. Even if it had like water and stuff like that. Like I would have to fill this water in just to be able to place that down. Now, this is going to just take whatever ground it is on when I place it. So if I like fill this water in with these acacia blocks that I have, it'll be fine. It'll, as long as it's some type of ground. In the future, when we're building some of our guard towers and other things, we can actually choose what this like fill block ends up being. Like it can be dirt, cobblestone, all that other kind of fun stuff. But we're not exactly there yet. And I'm trying to figure out now where the best place this is going to go. And honestly, I do quite like the idea of it kind of going in this like little nook right here. So let's go ahead and get that all lined up, right? We'll go bring this down, just kind of in that area. And now what I can do, I can kind of see this flickering is a good vibe. That's a good thing for us. This tree, however, is going to end up causing some problems. Everything in this white line, and in fact, if I go ahead, just kind of turn around real quick, just kind of see everything. Actually, let's we'll bring it back my way a little bit, just like that. I like that. I want to bring it back a couple more, like that. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. But you see, this is everything within this white line needs to be clear before we put this down. And in fact, if I go ahead and say build, we're going to notice there's not solid blocks. That needs to be fixed. Or it needs air above it in order to be placed. So I have to go ahead and start filling in all of those things. Now, with that, it becomes a little bit like a problem with like trying to make sure you're filling everything in and all that other kind of fun stuff. But we'll at least start over here with this right here. We can kind of do that. Make some room. Always really good. In the future, when we are building stuff with our villagers and everything like that, what'll end up happening is that when we place something down, our villager will actually come in and start clearing out the rocks and stuff like that for us. But we have to be the first ones to do that here because, well, we don't have villagers yet. That comes here soon. But until then, we have to do a little bit of the work, and that's fine. Plus, this is going to give us the materials we need to fill in the water blocks. Yes, we cut all that out, which is really good. I didn't get that. I don't have a shovel. That. Cool. And so now we get just to play the game and start filling that in. Now, I kind of have a good idea of what all I need to fill in here. Like I will, we'll come over here, take a cobblestone, just like that. And we know we'll have to fill all this in. So what I'm going to do right now is get this back out. Come back over here. And we knew we started over here, and we know that this is like the center of where it was. So I'm going to go ahead and place that right there. Yep, just like that. Now, I purposely put that up, mostly because that's where I want the center to be. So when I come here and I right click and I hit cancel, I can now see a good idea of everything that I need to fill in to make sure that we build this properly. So let's go ahead and start doing that right now. Let's put this like this. Classic Minecrafting, classic start, right? We're just going straight that way. I'm gonna go over here, make my life a little easier. And of course, we're gonna need to go and get more materials. And best way to do that, yeah, we chop the wood. Do we do it with stone? We do it with stone. Yeah, we'll use stone. Let's go over here. I don't want to mess up the landscape too much. I do like a lot of the ways the windswept Savannah looks. It's kind of like a really nice vibe to it. Huge fan of that. One of the things, let's talk about goals, right? So one of the things, let's talk about the goals. The goals here in this episode are we're going to build our supply camp. Take a look at that. We'll see everything that it has to come with. And we're going to take a look at what the town hall looks like. And hopefully get that placed. And start, you know, the very foundations of what our colony will be. Usually a good start and a good session when doing Minecolonies is just going into it with a goal. You never want to go in blind. Like there is, especially with other mod packs, like they have like built-in progressions and stuff like that that are really nice, really handy to like help a player go through the journey that is whatever the mod pack is. But Minecolonies has so many things that are like going on with it at any given time. Give yourself the space to learn and just take that time to like really dive into the mod itself. It's like any of those other ones. Like they, you know, like there's the magic mod packs, there's the create, there's Ars Nouveau, there's so many different crazy mod packs that are out there. And some of them are a little easier than others, for sure. And sometimes you can just kind of dive right on in and learn as you go. Nothing bad there. I'm just gonna keep mining until I break my pickaxe. So works pretty well, I think. But with Minecolonies, I find it best to approach this mod pack with a sense of like, you know, planning and understanding. It reminds me a lot of games like Satisfactory and Factorio, where in the initial stages of just like having, you know, this experience of this is new, I don't know what's going on, is fun and fine. But with Minecolonies, when you give it the space to like taking time, learning it, reading it, and then using that newfound information to come up with a plan of like how you want to go about, how you want to go about actually achieving something really shapes up. And to say that, full disclosure, the first few colonies that you guys make probably won't look that good, and that's okay. The first few colonies I made, horrible looking. I don't even have footage, but horrible looking. And what it does is like it gives you that opportunity to learn. You understand how roads work, you understand how all the other transportation and stuff like that works. And so I should probably keep these for like a stone pickaxe, but I think about it. Let's actually do that and go get ourselves some more stone. Yeah, the idea that your first colony that you guys make is going to be like this amazing, breathtaking, like wonderful thing is all good to kind of have as like an idea. But even if you sit around and you watch videos and you watch other content creators and like they give you like almost like a step-by-step guide on how to do things, actually playing around with it and like building the colony, it's got a little bit of a learning curve to it. And also like a creative thing, you know, like you just kind of want to take that moment to really explore all the different Lego pieces that you have access to and seeing how it all fits together. Or even in some cases, you know, taking a look at other different style packs and got a guy over here. All right, oh, whoa, hey, whoa. Like, oh, mouse sensitivity, too much. Yeah, look at that. What was it saying? Oh, style pack stuff. Like, I'm gonna do my best here to keep to the style pack that is the urban Savannah. But I will take a look at some of the other style packs just to see if there's anything that might, you know, best fit. And that's okay too. We don't like it's not a hard and fast rule. We don't have to stick to everything. I think actually there's one style pack in general. I think it's Fortress that actually has a you have to follow this like by of like a guide almost sort of thing, or like you end up having a really bad time. Like there's a very specific way that style pack has to be built, and if you don't do it that way, then it does not work out in your favor in any way, shape, or form, which is kind of unfortunate because it's a pretty cool style pack. But all of this is to say is, like, I find it nice to kind of come into Minecolonies with a bit of a plan. In this case, you know, I found this Savannah area. Definitely looks really nice, looks really cool, and I'm like very excited to kind of jump in and do that. Get some coal right now since it's right here. Get those early game achievements. And after finding the Savannah place, I took a second, I sat down, and I really started thinking about, what do I actually want to do here? What I want this series to be about? Which kind of leads a little bit into story time, you know, with those who are returning to the channel. Hi, welcome back. Missed you guys. Hope it's been good. We'll definitely get into music and all that other kind of fun stuff. But if you've been on the channel before and you've watched some of the other videos that we have here, the previous series I was doing a really large world that was a whole bunch of colonies put together, and I had started with Fairy Tale, and I wanted to keep going with that, but unfortunately I had a computer malfunction and lost a lot of footage. And I won't stay on this too long. It's unfortunate with what happened, but I had an entire whole season's worth of footage for the next colony ready to go. It just needed to be edited, and I was in the process of doing that, and well, I wasn't able to get it out to you guys in time, which is unfortunate. It's kind of both a blessing and a curse, because had I gotten it out but then lost the back half of everything, would have been horrible, because there was no way for me to recover that world file. And because of that, like, the series would have had to have come to an end because I couldn't get everything back, and like, it was just, it was a rough time. But we're back now. Like, we have this new area we're gonna be building in, and I'm genuinely excited. It's really good. So all you returning on this wonderful Monday morning, or whenever you're watching it, maybe it's a Saturday, maybe it's a Sunday, who knows? Thank you so much for tuning in, and it's great to be here. So we're back, we're building, we have all this, we have a plan. We're going to be in the urban Savannah, and there's some things that I'm going to want to do with it for sure. But let's go ahead. I think it was like right here is where I clicked. Nice. Okay, cool. So I filled everything in, which is nice. I gave myself this placeholder block of where I want things to be for the center, so I can kind of just click here and move that to right there. Now I know that this right here is lined up. I can go ahead and just break this block. We should be good. And so now when I come over here, look at it. This looks good. I like the placement. I think it's going to be great. I'll click on this and I'm going to say yes. And it immediately builds Minecolonies. Welcome to Minecolonies. Now that you have your supplies, how about searching a nice location to place your town hall to create your colony? Which will be good. Oh, the gate's all the way over there. I was looking at this the other day for the pack, and I was like, where's the entrance for this? Couldn't find it. Found it now, though. So, we've built our supply camp, and it's got some fences, which is nice, keep some things out. And this is what I'm talking about when I say, like, it kind of comes with a little bit of everything. So if we look down under there, I think that's hay underneath there. I'm not exactly sure if that's hay or not. But look, we have some spruce logs. We have everything that we can kind of chop up there. We have a couple... I actually don't know what's all on this right now. Yeah, look at that. Food and everything in here. Look, we got a whole bunch of food. It is great. Nothing on that rack. I can see that there is more on this particular thing. Yeah, like got some wooden tools, which is cool. Yeah, it's kind of like opening up a whole bunch of gifts. So we got that going for us. There's obviously things on this, but for whatever reason, it is being a little bit on the weird side. This is one of the things with the shelving inside of Minecolonies, which I've kind of found to be like a little bit of a hindrance sometimes. It is when you're doing certain builds, sometimes it'll glitch out like this. You have to actually like go in and break it and like place things down again and all that kind of fun stuff. So, but look, we got a smoker, we got some stone cutters, a blast furnace, everything like that. These are all going to be really good for us, especially the stone cutter and the architect's cutter, because you need that for certain style of blocks, which we'll see. What's up here? We got some hay up in there. Hey, nope. Can I climb that? Meh. Okay. What do we got over here? We got, hey, our town hall and our build tool. We'll get into that here in a second. I'm going to put that as my respawn point. We got some books over here. We can see the spruce saplings. Those are really nice to have. More spruce. There should be, if this is one of the better starter packs, there should be a place that'll have some of the acacia saplings as well. At least, hopefully. Now, we've done that. We've explored and checked everything out. Now, usually in some of these supply camps, we can kind of see it underneath the fireplace right there, is there's what looks to either be hay or gold. Sometimes there's like a block of emerald under certain things. Now that I'm looking at that, that might just be like a decoration thing. I don't really know. That's it's kind of weird that it's actually doing it like that. I think that's it seems very decoration. Yeah, because that one doesn't have anything on it. Or like it's trying to say that it is. Yeah, I think we're supposed to have like torches and everything like that, and like the block of whatever. But I don't think they would give us like obsidian and everything like that off the rip. Not quite sure. Not quite sure on that. Supply camps, however, are designed to be broken down. As just like, I just want to kind of state that, like, you can use them for sure and keep them as a permanent thing, as like, hey, this is where we started, this is what we're doing, and everything like that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But it's designed in a way that, like, this one, breaking it down once it's all done, because you can use these barrels and everything like that for other builds, is what we're going to be looking for. Now, let's go ahead and kind of clean up our inventory a little bit. I'm going to move this white wool up, this coal up, and everything like that. And move my food over here. Actually, I'll put my food there. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Now, town hall and the build tool. Both of these things, absolutely fantastic and important resources. So, inside, do I have a crafting table? Actually, hold on. Is that like the one thing that they didn't give us as a crafting table? Is that how this is about to be? I think so. Alright, let's go ahead and come over here and grab our crafting table real quick. So, the build tool, the build wand, is a very important item inside of this mod pack. And so too, I'll be a good Minecraft YouTuber, clean up after myself. Go in here, we'll close the door behind us. Again, being a good YouTuber, we'll sleep the day away. Now, the build tool is going to be a very, very important thing, and I'm going to show you why that is right now. So if we come over here, I'm going to place this down just like that, open this up. Because we have the build tool, we now are able to do like builder's goggles, we're able to make a sawmill, we're able to make, let's see, where else is it? Yeah, we can do a graveyard, there's a school, construction tape. Well, actually, I don't have to worry about that one too much. The mine, town hall, forcer's hut. The big thing to note here about this, and you might have caught it already as I've been kind of clicking through, is this build tool is a central component to the entirety that is Minecolonies. Now, it is an infinite resource. Once you put that in there and build with it, it never gets consumed. You always have it with you. But in order to place down a building, you have to have the build tool and a subsequent, you know, podium type thing. And we can see a whole bunch of them here. We got the town halls, waypoint placeholder. I have no idea what that is, but that seems kind of cool. Definitely going to look into that. The schools and everything, residences. What I'm looking for right now is the builder's hut. Where's that at? Builder's hut. Builder's goggles. Oh, well, maybe we can't build it yet because we have to build the town hall first. And we'll get into that here in a second. But If we actually grab hold of it, anywhere you right click is going to start giving us this menu. It's a pretty big and fun menu. Actually, run through this and cancel so that I can actually go do it somewhere else. So once you've kind of done exploring your supply camp, there's not much going on here with this one. It's pretty basic, all things considered. Some of the other supply camps can be really large and involved, and some of the supply ships can get pretty crazy as well. But we have a pretty good, jump up here, pretty good perch right up here to kind of take a look at what we're going to be building next, which is not just building, but placing, so we can get colonists coming in so that we can actually start building, because we're going to need a builder's hut. But we're going to go ahead and right click on this right here. This is the build tool UI. Now, it's pretty much going to be similar. We can switch pack if we want, but we're on the urban Savannah. This is where we want to stay. I would encourage everybody, and I do this all the time too, especially when playing with a new pack, to kind of click through all of these to kind of see what the style ends up looking like. So I'm going to go ahead and for now, let's see, fundamentals. This is a good place to start. We don't have a colony, so all these are going to be kind of grayed out, but we do have town hall, because we have our town hall block right down here. So if we click on it, we're going to get something very similar to what we got before, except a little bit larger. Now I'm just kind of moving this out a little bit just so we can kind of take a look at it, and I'll end up talking about the UI again. Wow. Let's jump over here. Jump over here. So this is our town hall. This is going to be the central thing. You can think of it like it's the mayor's house. Kind of look around, flip around and stuff like that. We can see the stairs going up. That highlighted box up in there, we can tell where the actual block is going to go, which is really, really nice. All in all, I think it's pretty cool. Now, we can see this right here. This is a fundamental thing. This is the first building in any colony that gets built. I like the looks of it. I like the acacia. It looks like we're going to need cobblestone, torches, planks, some fences, a door, all that kind of stuff like that. Not exactly something I need to worry about right now, but we will in the future. Something else to note here in the UI, like we can click through, we can, even with something open, we can see all these different things. I'm going to stay here on the town hall. Something that's really nice though is over here on this left hand side is that we can see a preview of what it's going to look like fully fleshed out. Now, at this point in the mod, we've only done a supply camp. That's all we've done. We haven't placed anything. We haven't placed a colony. We haven't locked ourselves into doing anything in particular. So what I like doing is taking a look at what a town hall kind of evolves through the different stages to kind of see if it's going to have like a vibe that I'm looking for. And we can do that with this little UI widget right here. So at level 1, when we place it, it looks fine. It looks great. Kind of par for the course, very early build starter stuff. We hit level 2, we see it expands. Nice, okay, not too bad. Still a little bit on the blocky side, but still, again, not bad. Level 3, getting a little bigger. We're getting some carpet stuff going in, liking the way that it's scaling. Looks kind of nice. Still, again, keeping with the overall themes of the windswept Savannah. Level 4, starting to bring some brickwork in, some masonry. Really, really nice to see. Enjoying that. I have a traveler here with me apparently. And then finally, level 5 has more architecture stuff. Different types of roofing and everything like that. And on the inside, of course, also changes. Something to note here is that usually all these levels will indicate different stages that you are within the game. And will often usually require something to be completed, such as going to the nether for the first time, beating the end dragon or whatever, to upgrade your builder's hut to be able to achieve that particular level. And we'll talk about that probably in the next episode when we actually build the builder's hut. But for now, taking a look at this, I'm like, you know, hey, I like this. This is good. I'm looking around at our current surroundings and saying, I think it's going to fit in. I think it'll fit in very well. I like it. Now, something to note is that when I place this town hall down, that's going to be what is essentially the start of my colony. And it's important to note that wherever you start your colony, it'll do, I think it's like 500 blocks. I believe it's 500 blocks. It's a large area, and we will see it here in a moment, but it dictates the boundary of your colony, and only within that boundary can you place additional buildings. So what I have to figure out now is where I can place my town hall to maximize my building potential, right? What we saw a bit ago with when I was putting the supply camp down, I had to fill in a lot of water just to put the camp down. If I were to say, put this right down here in between these trees, even if that gets down fine and dandy, when I want to start building other things, I have a whole slew of water that I just can't build anything with, because I'd have to like flatten the area and then like terraform stuff and all that other kind of, it's a whole deal, right? So I have to keep that in mind. That being said, being here in the windswept Savannah is going to be a little bit on the more difficult side, just simply due to the fact that it's got a lot of elevation. So I'm going to have to be doing some terraforming anyways. But I think it gives us a verticality which doesn't normally happen. And he agrees. So what I'm thinking is that our windswept Savannah, I'm just kind of like maximize it up real quick just to kind of see where the front door is. So I know that's the front door. Let's bring it back to level 1. So like that. Can I do this? Yeah, we kind of mirror. All right. So what I'm thinking, and I wish I could click this a little bit further, is I'm going to nestle it back over here. I think back over here. Okay, that's a little too far. I think it's just kind of like firming and hopping at me. Because what my thought is, right, is move this over a bit more, lower it a little bit. Because think about it here, like level 5, right? Level 5. We have this really cool building. Bring it down a little bit, just like this. Yeah, just like that. We have this really cool building with this like Savannah back behind it. And we're definitely gonna be building up through there. We're gonna have like guard towers and all that other kind of stuff. But just like seeing this, and I think I'm gonna lower it again. Yeah, we're looking at like the frame of it, right? Look at the frame of it. If I do this, take a look. Obviously, some of these trees and stuff like that are going to be cut down to make room for it. A little bit of terraforming, I think, needs to happen, but that's okay. Ultimately, I'm liking what I'm seeing with that right there. I think that's a pretty cool, like, just shot, just in general. I am a fan of that. So because I like that, go back here, say it's level 1. It'll be kind of cute and quaint. I'm gonna hit OK, and with that, we've started a colony. Look at us go. Some good stuff right there. Now, it's getting a little bit late, so I'm just gonna go over here and sleep, so we don't have to deal with any monsters or scary berries coming dealing anything in the middle of the night. Just like that. And we're gonna go over there and we're gonna take a look at that block that we just placed down. Okay, let's go do that. Which is gonna bring into a very important question for the rest of us, which is, what is the name of your college going to be? That's an important one. I got some chickens up there. That's actually good to know. I need to make like a small chicken farm so I can get food and stuff like that. If you take a look at that, here is what we're greeted with after building our town hall. 1, no nearby colony. There is, you know, if you're playing on a multiplayer server, there's like rules and limitations to like how close you can be to someone else because how you can expand them. So being, you know, no nearby colony is good. You do not currently own a colony because you can only have one colony per player. And I'm able to create a new colony here. Current pack is Urban Savannah, which is good. And then, of course, the create new colony. Now, as soon as you do this, we're going to be locked in. You can, of course, like leave colonies and all this other kind of stuff. And I believe, depending on the mod pack and even like the basic mod pack, there's like a cooldown period or something. But we're going to go ahead. We're going to create a new colony. And as soon as I do, we're going to actually see our first colonists arrive. That's great. Now, a few things have happened here. We can see construction tape has kind of surrounded this entire area, which is important, but we can't do anything with this. A builder, an actual colonist, will have to come in and properly take care of this. All right, we got our first settler here in the colony. It took them a little second to show up, but they're here. We should start seeing more show up as time goes on. I believe we should get 4 of them. Eventually,
good day to you.
4 of them should show up.
I can help you.
They're over here. This is Rhea. Love to see it. They have stats, skills, happiness, open requests, family. A whole slew of things can happen, and we will absolutely dive into.
I can help you with that.
Settlers have in a future episode. But first, let's go ahead. We're going to take a look at this block one more time because now it's changed. There's a lot of things going on here with like permissions, citizens, actions, settings, work orders, statistics. There's a lot of stuff going on with it. Absolutely. We can kind of see what's all happening here as well. But one of the more important things is going to be this renaming the colony aspect, which, if we're going to be real, is a very important task. And I'm going to be leaving it up to you guys in the comment section, which leads us to a wonderful kind of, spot to sort of kind of bring the video. So that's my task for you guys. There's going to be 2 things. Those who are familiar with, the channel, is often I talk about some music that I've been listening to, and then I ask you guys for what you've been listening to because I love updating my playlist, which I got to say, I'm back. So I've been listening to a lot of things over the past year. And I want to kind of kick things off with one of the top bands that have kind of been taking over my entire, however long it's been since I've, uploaded a video. And that's been Sleep Token. I'm just gonna be real with you guys. It's a problem. It's a problem. I've listened to them, so there is so much to them. If you haven't listened to Sleep Token and you guys are a fan of metal, or you're a fan of experimental type rock and different types of music, definitely check them out. So of course I have to bounce that question back to you guys, you lovely viewers and listeners back at home, on whatever day it is, whatever time it is. What have you been listening to? What was your Spotify or Apple or YouTube Wrapped? What did that look like? And also, while you're down there commenting and leaving a like and all that other kind of fun stuff that I have to say as like a YouTuber during the outro, is, what do you think we should name this colony? We're back. What's a good name? Would love to hear it. And also, names for our villagers. Always good to come along with as well. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. It is good to be back. I can't wait to keep building this all up with you guys and having you just a wonderful experience as I always do. Can't wait to see those music recommendations for sure. I can say y'all influenced my Apple Wrapped from all the music I listened to the previous time from all the different series. Definitely came in clutch. So until next time, happy Monday, happy whatever day of the week it is. Can't wait to see you until next time. Goodbye.